Hey everybody, I'm Matt Riley. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. We're going to have the U.S. Attorney up here, obviously. A number of federal and state and local law enforcement partners will be joining us and also be speaking. All the names and spellings and titles and all that information will be in the press release that we'll be distributing after the press conference has ended. They'll also be posted on our website, so you can download the documents, get the press release, and get all that information too. So we'll get started in about a minute. I'll be right back.
Yes, exactly, but I'm like, I think it's suitcase. But it was, so it was nice. We had for I just had a call. No. It was, I grew up anyway. Yeah, it's no problem. I don't know why it's so late.
Makes a big deal. Do this how many times a day? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he must have got something.
I believe
He's too young.
I believe.
He kind of like, yeah.
No, he doesn't. I was hoping. Can I agree? Maybe so.
He was like, today I don't think the story they tried to yesterday. It's We're good.
Good morning. I'm Philip Selinger, the United States Attorney for the District of New Jersey. Up here today with me today are Assistant United States Attorneys
Kendall Randolph, Samantha Fasanello, Adele Rivera, Sarah Sokolsky, Benjamin Levin, Angelica Sinopol, Francesca Licori, James Donnelly, Desi Grace, and Jamal Semper. I would also like to acknowledge Assistant United States Attorneys Olta Bailari and Tracy Agnew, who could not be with us today because they're in court on other matters. I'm also honored to be joined up here by the New Jersey Attorney General, the special agents in charge of the New Jersey offices for the Drug Enforcement Administration, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the county prosecutors for Essex and Passaic County, the Chief of Major Crimes for Middlesex County, the Public Safety Director of Newark, the Essex County Under Sheriff, and the Lieutenant Colonel of the New Jersey State Police, many of whom you will hear from shortly. Keeping New Jersey safe and reducing violent crime are core to our office's mission. I have no greater priority as the United States Attorney, and this office has an unshakable commitment to work alongside our federal, state, and local partners to curb gun violence, illegal guns, and narcotic distribution in the state of New Jersey. This means taking action to curb the drivers of violence in the state, and over the last year, we together, all of those up here today, have taken steps to investigate, to prosecute, and curb violent offenders in the state. I am today announcing several criminal enforcement actions that we together have taken over the last several weeks. We have charged 42 defendants federally. I note that each of these defendants are presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. We have taken 37 guns off the street. We have removed large quantities of heroin, fentanyl, and crack cocaine from our communities so that they cannot poison more people. The charges include federal conspiracies, including racketeering, murder, firearms offenses, and drug distribution. These investigations were conducted under the auspices of my office's Violent Crime Initiative. This initiative brings together our federal, state, and local partners to work together to investigate, prosecute, and curb violent crime throughout the state. In addition to these charges, today we announce and highlight how our collective actions have helped to appreciably diminish shooting incidents in New Jersey, both in the state and in our Violent Crime Initiative cities. As of today, the number of shooting incidents, both in the state and our Violent Crime Initiative cities, is appreciably lower. As you can see on this chart, statewide, total shooting incidents are 23% lower than at the same point last year. In Newark, shooting incidents are 30% lower than at the same point last year. In Jersey City, 27% lower, and in Patterson, 12% lower than at the same point last year. While we are grateful for these hard-earned reductions in shooting incidents, we are clear-eyed about the immense challenges that gun violence presents and the challenges to protect the lives of those in our community. Every single shooting incident and senseless act of violence is a tragedy, and public safety remains the highest priority of this office and all of our law enforcement partners. Briefly, I'd like to highlight the details of several of these cases. First, starting with Newark. This morning, members of the DEA, New Jersey State Police, ATF, U.S. Marshals Service, Essex County Sheriff's Department, Newark Police Department, and the Union County Prosecutor's Office, as well as other VCI partners of ours, arrested 13 members and associates of the Great Street Crips gang. 12 of these defendants are charged with conspiring to operate and maintain a drug trafficking organization that distributed large amounts of fentanyl and crack cocaine, allegedly, in the Oscar Miles housing complex here in the East Ward of Newark. Earlier this month, 10 members of the Roland 60s neighborhood Crips gang were charged in a racketeering conspiracy. According to the superseding indictment, members of the Roland 60s gangs have committed a murder, shootings, armed carjackings, and robberies in Newark and Irvington. This investigation was led by the DEA, IRS, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, and our local law enforcement partners. Next, last month, this office charged 5 individuals with conspiring to participate in a drug trafficking organization that distributed fentanyl and crack cocaine in and around Lincoln Park in Newark. 13 firearms and significant quantities of drugs were seized. This investigation was led by the ATF, the DEA, the Essex County Sheriff's Office, Newark Police Department, and other VCI partners. Shifting to other areas in New Jersey, last month, 7 members and associates of the Bounty Hunter Bloods gang were charged with participating in a racketeering conspiracy. The indictment charges that this criminal organization operated in Somerset, Middlesex, Passaic, and Mercer counties, as well as within the New Jersey prison system. As alleged, several of the defendants committed violent acts, including a murder, mass shootings, and assaults with deadly weapons. In one instance, members of the Bounty Hunter Bloods allegedly shot 9 people in New Brunswick, killing 2. Over the course of the conspiracy, it's alleged that members and associates of the Bounty Hunter Bloods shot 16 people, killing 3. This investigation was conducted by the FBI, the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office, and our local law enforcement partners. Finally, in Paterson, last month we charged 5 alleged members and associates of the Trinitarios Street Gang with conspiring to distribute cocaine and heroin and for firearms offenses. This investigation was led by the FBI, working with the Paterson Police Department, the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, and other law enforcement partners in and around Passaic County. The names of each of the defendants and the specific acts with which they are charged are set forth in charging documents that are available for your review today. I remind you that at this point, these are allegations only. The cases that I have just detailed reflect a collective, multi-agency approach that we have employed across New Jersey to target the allegedly forces that use violent crime to perpetuate drugs and other offenses throughout the state and threaten our communities. This was a true team effort with everyone focused on the bottom line goal of making New Jersey safer. Every New Jersey neighborhood deserves to be free from the nightmare of gun violence. Violence is an unacceptable option. To all those who drive violence in our streets and communities, our message to you is clear. We will spare no effort in our efforts to keep the communities safe and to ensure that those who commit violence face justice. At this point, I'll turn this over to the State Attorney General, Matthew Platkin.
Thank you, the U.S. Attorney, for convening this and for highlighting the tremendous work done by your office and the tremendous prosecutors, our partners, DEA, ATF, FBI, our Newark, and of course our county prosecutors, and I'm joined as well by colleagues from state police. These cases that the U.S. Attorney just highlighted are a tremendous example of what happens when we work together across jurisdictional lines, when we recognize, as we do in this state, that we are a stronger and safer state when we are working collaboratively, when we're sharing information, when we're ensuring that resources are deployed efficiently and effectively. That's a model that has worked very well under the Violent Crime Initiative that this office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as all of the partners up here have participated in. At the state level, we have incorporated that model into a statewide gun violence reduction task force, which again brings all federal, state, and local authorities, as well as our county prosecutors, into the fold to take an intelligence-driven approach to combating gun violence. We're using these efforts effectively. And the data that the United States Attorney has highlighted, and I thank the state police for compiling what I think is among the most robust data sets in the country on violent crime. The data proves the point. We are making our state safer. And where you're seeing in other parts of the country violent crime on the rise, we're seeing it decline here in this state. It's not mission accomplished. We have a lot of work left to do. But these efforts and these partnerships are how we will continue to make our state safer and continue to drive those numbers down even further. So I thank you, U.S. Attorney, for including us. I thank you for the partnership. And to everybody who worked on these cases, I thank you for all of your efforts in making our state a safer place.
Hello, everyone. My name is Susan Gibson. I am the SAC of DEA New Jersey. I would like to thank Mr. Sellinger for bringing me here today to discuss such a great accomplishment. I can't thank enough my esteemed colleagues who we have worked together to accomplish all this goals. And as our main purpose is to stop drug violence and overdoses throughout the country, and working together, it needs to be done. Together, we target those that are willing to point a gun at somebody and pull the trigger. Together, we target those who are willing to sell fentanyl pills to loved ones and to children, causing death just for profit. Together, we target those that are the source of the nightmares of hundreds of thousands of families across this country who have suffered the loss of someone they loved for drug violence and drug poisonings. Together, we do this. Together, we accomplish this goal. I am so proud of the men and women in law enforcement who on a daily basis relentlessly pursue the worst people out there that are causing this massive amount of drug deaths and gun violence. I am so proud of my occupation. I am so proud of the men and women that go out there every day. So this is for me thanking them. As everyone goes home at night and sleeps very comfortably, these men and women are out in the streets making sure that we can. So thank you for everybody up on the stage. I'm proud to be here, and I'm very proud to have probably some of the best people working for DEA, and I just can't be more proud of them. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Matthews. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives here in New Jersey. I would like to comment on what DEA Special Agent in charge Sue Gibson said. I, like her, couldn't be more proud of our profession and the good work that's done, not just here, but throughout our country. One of the things about New Jersey that makes it so special is I've had the honor of working across this country as an ATF agent. I've never experienced the kind of collaborative work that is done here amongst the state, federal, and local partners. It's truly outstanding. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for allowing ATF to be a part of that. And I specifically today wanted to thank the line prosecutors, the officers, the detectives, and the agents that work tirelessly to conduct these meaningful, impactful investigations and remove these drivers of violence from our communities. With that, ATF is committed to trying to break that cycle of violence, break the shooting cycle. And we try to do that through the use of ATF's data sets through our E-Trace data, which is our gun trace data, as well as a National Integrated Ballistics Information Network. That's ballistics data. So we couple those two data sets, and it helps us to ensure that we're practicing good, fair, and impartial policing. We do that by not just casting a wide net over a community and finding and seeing what we get at the end of it, but using that crime gun information, that crime gun intelligence that's so crucial that the New Jersey State Police, does such a fantastic job as well, supporting throughout the state. We can strategically target those drivers of violence and the sources of crime guns in these communities and remove them. So with that, again, I'd like to say thank you to everyone here today, and I appreciate you guys letting us be here.
My name's Jim Dennehy. I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI's Newark Division. In September, 2 of our violent gang investigations came to fruition. The Bounty Hunter Bloods Gang, a subset of the infamous Bloods Gang, has a nationwide reach. The gang's affiliated groups set up shop in New Jersey neighborhoods, not just in the major cities, but also within our suburbs. And their disputes with other crime sects focus on drugs, territory, and bad blood. They resolve those disputes through assaults, shootings, and sometimes murder. The Bounty Hunter Bloods are a particularly violent band of criminals who have been plaguing Somerset and Middlesex counties. Members of this group allegedly participated in a series of shootings that resulted in 3 deaths and multiple injuries. 2 of those shootings took place in public spaces, exposing innocent citizens. The total disregard for human life and the blind eye to its consequences are typical of violent gangs that we investigated. In addition, however, to their drug business, the Bounty Hunter Bloods Gang was allegedly defrauding the government's Paycheck Protection Program, intended to help struggling business owners survive the effects of the COVID pandemic. More proof that while drug turf disputes are still at the core of the majority of these gangs, fraud schemes are becoming another aspect of these criminal enterprises, prompting us to utilize all of our investigative tools to combat them. The FBI takes an all-hands-on-deck approach to dismantling these types of violent gangs, and none of the work that we do could be done without our partnerships in the law enforcement arena. Thanks to the expertise wielded by the Franklin Township Police Department, the New Brunswick Police Department, and the Middlesex and Somerset County Prosecutor's Office, we were able to take several alleged gang members off the street on RICO conspiracy charges. In another case we investigated, a street gang called the Trinitarios, they were focused on selling heroin, fentanyl, among other narcotics, committing armed robberies, shootings, and even murder. Typical gang activity. However, while also carrying out various types of bank, mail, and elder fraud schemes. The Trinitarios have not only an interstate reach, as we are tracking the connection between their New York City sect and areas here in Paterson, New Jersey, but also an international reach, as much of their criminal activity is directed and coordinated out of the Dominican Republic. Again, by working with our partner agencies, the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, the Passaic County Sheriff's Office, and the Paterson Police Department, we were able to take some of these violent criminals off the street. These cases are just 2 examples of the types of threats the FBI is working to eradicate. And as I said, we cannot have any of these types of successes without the help of our local, county, state, and federal partners throughout all municipalities within the entire state of New Jersey. As violent crime continues to escalate in a multitude of forms, whether it's violent gangs or active shooters, hate crimes or drug traffickers, we will be relentless in our efforts. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Fritz Frage, Director of Public Safety for the City of Newark. First, I'd like to thank the U.S. Attorney's Office for coordinating this press conference. This VCI, Violent Crime Initiative, was initiated in 2017 by the U.S. Attorney's Office in collaboration with local, state, and municipal police departments. I was a member of that in 2017 as lieutenant in the New Jersey State Police. And I'm proud and glad to see what has come to this day. Criminals and crime don't have jurisdictional boundaries. In this case, law enforcement should not either. These continued collaborations of intelligence-led policing is what makes the system work. These events are not an occurrence that happen unnaturally. They consistently happen here because of the relationship we have here. Our partners, the FBI, DEA, ATF, HSI, Essex County prosecutors, Passaic County prosecutors, all these law enforcement entities, some that I have not been mentioned, are critical to how we combat crime in the city of Newark. Because of these dozens of arrests, the people of Oscar Mills Village can rest comfortably tonight knowing that some of these offenders will be off the street and they can walk safely in their communities. I'd like to read it again that the mayor of Newark, Ross Baracco, wants to thank all of the law enforcement entities that are in Newark assisting us in combating crime. As the U.S. Attorney just stated, crime is down significantly. Violent crime is down significantly compared to last year at this time. With the continued support of the community and the collaboration to help reinforce the relationship between the Newark Police and all the police entities in the communities of this great state, specifically the city of Newark, we can help make this city and the entire Essex County and the state of New Jersey safer. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Theodore Stevens. I'm the acting Essex County prosecutor. I want to thank United States Attorney Selinger for convening this press conference today. I'm proud to stand here with Attorney General Platkin and everyone who's part of this law enforcement family here in Essex County. Our partnerships that we have enjoyed since I've been the acting Essex County prosecutor have been second to none. They've included all the individuals here and individuals not here as well, including Essex County Sheriff Armando Fontura, who's represented today by two of his under sheriffs, Amir Jones and also Mr. Stengel, Jim Stengel. I almost forgot his name for a second. He'll get me for that later. But with regard to our effort here today, the important thing is that this is a collaborative effort. My constant and my consistent refrain since I've been the acting Essex County prosecutor is that I don't know how it's done elsewhere around the country, but I keep hearing about the unique collaborations that exist among all the members of law enforcement here. I feel bad for them, because everyone here works collectively to make sure that our main advantage in terms of sharing information and working collaboratively is really what gets us to the point where we can kind of celebrate the successes that have been outlined here today. At the top of that list is the Violent Crimes Initiative, which from the beginning has been an absolute godsend for this community and has been one of the most effective law enforcement tools, I think, anywhere. So on behalf of everyone, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office, including today our Chief McGuire and First Assistant Sadeo, who are joining here today, we want to just thank everybody for allowing Essex County Prosecutor's Office to do what we do to try to make sure that justice is meted out fairly here in Essex County. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Camelia Valdez, and I have the distinction of serving as the Passaic County Prosecutor. To U.S. Attorney Selinger, General Platkin, all of our federal partners, thank you for the opportunity to come to the table to discuss and to share intelligence, experience, and the commitment to disrupting the violence that is occurring in Passaic County and in Patterson. I want to thank members of the Passaic County Prosecutor that are in lockstep with members of the VCI. Want to thank Captain Murray and Deputy Chief Phelan of the Patterson Police Department for their efforts, for always answering the call, and to all of our federal partners, thank you for all that we do daily. Guns and drugs and violence are inextricably linked, and therefore so should we be, and we are. And to be able to do this work together, to know that we can pick up the phone and call our partners at the federal, state, and local level, and they answer that call so that we are committed to ensuring safety for the residents of Patterson and Passaic County is a privilege. Thank you.
So my thanks again to all of our federal, state, and local partners, as well as to the Assistant United States Attorneys up here with me today for their extraordinary work in helping to bring these cases to this point. And to the public, I simply state that we will work tirelessly and spare no efforts collectively as a unified group in order to curb violence and bring perpetrators to justice. We'll take questions now.
I have an off-topic question. Can you comment on the reports that Senator Menendez is under investigation?
Under Department of Justice policy, I'm unable to either confirm or deny the existence of any investigation.
I have a question from a reporter on the, who's giving the press conference on the live stream. It's Charles Cradaville from New Brunswick Today. He has a number of questions. The first of which is, video shows 4 shooters perpetrated the September 2022 mass shooting in New Brunswick. Only 2 were charged in the recent federal indictment. Have the other 2 shooters been identified, or are they still at large?
The only information that we're able to share at this point is that which is set forth in the charging documents, which sets forth the defendants and the acts that they committed at this stage.
The next question seems to be for the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office. The Middlesex County Prosecutor didn't join us, but I'll put it out here anyway. The Prosecutor's Office had previously charged Jerron Pitt for his involvement in the shooting. Charges were dismissed when FBI took over the case. Was Mr. Pitt involved in the mass shooting?
We have no representative from Middlesex County here.
And your office previously stated that one of the 2 victims of the September 2020 mass shooting was a member of a rival gang, without indicating which individual you were referring to. Can you say which murder victim you believe was a gang member, and what evidence you have to support that claim?
All I can say on that subject is that among the victims of that shooting were persons who were not members of the gang. But beyond that, I'm not going to get into any more detail. Any other questions?
Okay,
Thank you.